Ahoy! Welcome to
Oh,
SJGames Live. It'd be Talk Like a Pirate Day, so today we are here with myself, Jimmy, and Steve Jackson, the captain of the ship.
I'd be ready for whatever befalls.
So,
Don't be falling on me.
exactly. No falling. You got a trip to go on.
Don't be tripping on me either.
But welcome on in. We're doing a little bit of an early stream today, but it is Talk Like a Pirate Day. So we like to have fun with this one just about every year for something around the office at least. Since it fell on a stream day, today you get us on stream.
Yeah, we used to be flying the pirate flag every year this day. Then some scurvy buggers stole our flagpole.
They did.
I'd be not kidding. Sawed it down for the metal, I guess.
What?
But speaking of scurvy buggers, that's a lead-in.
That is later. We do have another guest with us today.
Hello.
Welcome
Is
in,
that my-
Irene. That's your cue.
Hello. Yeah. And
You all know Irene.
Oh, you go. I'm getting a little
Go
lag,
ahead.
sorry.
Got it.
With the audio delay, I think, but
Irene is here to talk about a game that she has done outside of us. It is a role-playing game about pirates called Scurvy Buggers. Irene, go ahead and take it away.
yeah. So, Scurvy Buggers is my first book. It's out now from 9th Level Games. You can get it on their website, or at any convention where they are. And yeah, it is using their polymorph system, and it is a troop-style role-playing game about the found family and relationship dynamics on the high seas during the golden age of piracy.
And if ye watch Our Flag Means Death, ye have a good idea how this game can go.
Yeah, the alternate tagline is "We have Our Flag Means Death Season 3 at home."
Is there going to be a season 3? What's the word?
No, it got canceled.
No,
It's
That
you know,
sucks
it's
deeply.
it's like the I want McDonald's. We have McDonald's at home, and then it's whatever. It's not the same. So we have
yeah.
season 3.
HBO went on a raft of canceling a whole lot of shows that were doing well for some reason.
Mm,
So you have to just DIY it now.
yeah.
So what is the general feel of the system and like the setup of the characters and gameplay like in this? I know you guys did a live stream of this a while ago.
Yeah. So crew creation is one of my favorite parts of the game, and everybody is gonna, create a pirate generally. You also can play with pre-generated historical characters. So if you want to play on Calico Jack's ship, you can do that as well. But everybody sort of sets up their pirates and then gets into bonds. And so everyone picks the relationships that they've already started to form among the crew, and they have like a limited resource of marks to spend on that they can sort of negotiate with. So they're like, "Ooh, I've only got a couple left. Who wants to be rivals?" Um, and
Yeah,
everyone at the table.
I likes this system.
Everyone at the table kind of seeds their relationships before you get going, and then once gameplay is sort of underway, it's it uses the polymorph system, so you just have one die size that you're kind of rolling for everything, and you have stars that you can spend to do to do sort of extra cool stuff, or to add background flavor or change something about the story. So it's a pretty rules light system in the actual gameplay, but then once you start like using those stars to create interesting moments, they're going to generate more marks that you can then sort of work back into spending on your characters' relationships and upgrading them between sessions. So between session to session, you are like writing down, new developments on those character sheets and letting their relationships with each other change.
The way the system lets the players have some agency in the way the story develops, that'd be a lot of fun. So let's say Jimmy has just shot me with a flintlock point blank, and the referee describes the huge cloud of smoke. And if I'd be quick enough, I might spend a star and say, "Too bad it misfired." And unless the referee really needs that gun to shoot me right then, the referee can go along with the gag and describe Jimmy's flaming eyebrows and my miraculous survival. You can't do that over and over. It's a limited resource per player.
So have to pick the plot points where it's most important.
Most
to
important
take into it.
or most funny.
So pretty important a lot of times, at least in the games I play.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also whoa. Brain just went away for a second.
I see it. It's over there.
It was on the topic. Forget it. Go on. It might come back.
So when you were designing this, did it start off as pirates and then came to the polymorph system and then came to this, or did it start off somewhere else?
No, it kind of started. So the reason that I decided I want to design a polymorph RPG was I appeared on a live stream with my friend Tony on +1EXP, and I played before, as leading up to the Kickstarter, the Return to Dark Tower RPG based on the board game that they had made, and it used the polymorph system. And the thing about polymorph is it's just such a neat, the die resolver is just such a neat little piece of tech that as soon as by the end of this session, I was like, I need to make a game using this. So I kind of kicked around a couple ideas, and yeah, I reawakened an ancient pirate hyperfixation over the summer with Our Flag Means Death, and was like, I think I could make a pretty crazy found family pirate game about this. And I still wasn't, I thought maybe I was going to self-publish the zine, and I was on a panel with Heather O'Neill of 9th Level Games, and she asked what I was working on, and I mentioned, I just emailed you guys to get the license document for Polymorph because I want to do this thing. And I tell her a little bit about the project, and she says, that sounds like something we'd publish. And I was like, yeah, it really fit the Polymorph vibe, I thought. And she goes, no, let's try that again. That sounds like something. Had you thought about pitching it to us? And I said, no, I hadn't. Should I? That's the wrong answer too. Yeah. Okay. So she emails me.
Did I just?
Yeah, she emails me and sets up a meeting. And I'm like, hey, Steve, hypothetically, what should I be showing these people if they have said they want a pitch meeting with me? And then, yeah, that's kind of how that went. So I absolutely accidentally blundered into my first book deal. But yeah, it always
have. No, go on.
It wasn't. I was thinking about polymorph before I was thinking about pirates, but when I started thinking about pirates, I started thinking more about polymorph again. So they sort of met in the middle.
Right. You have had very nice things to say to me about working with Level 9.
They're great. Everybody, first of all, everyone on the team is super fun, and also, do you know how cool it is to have Scurvy Buggers sitting on a shelf next to Pigeons 11 and soon also Sentai and Sensibility? I mean, these are the cream of the crop in terms of titles, and it's very cool to be in that little. I think it's a good home for it.
Yeah. Going over to chat, but ahoy, by Fuba. Welcome on into our Talk Like a Pirate Day stream, and Nampi. No, this is not a GURPS game. This is a game published by Ninth Level Games in the Polymorph system, which Nampi points out they just picked up Kobolds Ate My Babies, and this seems like a perfect pickup to keep working in the system.
Yeah, the new kobolds is in polymorph as well. Which it's funny, this wasn't when I was waiting to hear back on my contract, I was also writing a daily illuminator to hype up the Kobolds Ate My Baby Orange book because of John Kovalik's involvement. And they were also like, it was just one of those, like, we are very
Circles and
all in
circles and
each other's
circles.
business. So no, this book is not designed to play in GURPS. It is almost, but not quite exactly unlike GURPS.
The system is almost, but not quite entirely unlike GURPS, but the book is a fun little source book if you're going to do any kind of pirate roleplay.
Which you
the
could then,
bond system
adapt
could
on your
be-
own.
The bond system could be grafted on pretty easily. So if you've ever, been playing GURPS and thought, man, I wish this had a more robust enemies to lovers system, I got you. And if you like historical misinformation, also give it, we got that
Which
too.
is that's the only way to play pirates is with historical information. Really, truly, historically, we'd be awful bastards, but it'd be more fun in games.
It's a fairly light system, so character creation is pretty quick. It's not super crunchy or anything like that. It's very more storytelling than crunch. Where there you go. Those are your characters.
Yep. So.
Chad says it's cute.
Yeah.
Let's see. We covered that. We covered that. We covered. Brandon's already dropped us a link on where to get it, I believe. From Ninth Level
Links in the
Games.
chat.
Yeah, links in the chat. And one of the other thing I had said was, is this for one-off stories or ongoing campaigns? It seems like you could do either with it. Like it seems like the bond system lets you actively grow into a whole campaign length thing.
It
but
does
probably would
do
support a
both.
one shot.
I have a lot of non-committal groups, and so one of the things was I went with troop style because so you can pick a different each week you come back. You could, if you want, pick a different crew of the collection that you have and play them instead. And so I like the idea of being able to get different people's takes on different characters, and also like, you can have someone else GM too. Like it's just pick it up for the week. And the cool thing that I am excited to sort of experiment with more is as I run this game at different conventions, I've been sort of occasionally thinking about sort of committing to the historical pre-gens and having them just keep getting changed. So the more that people play them, the more that those relationships are going to change. And then each one shot, they have a different crew because of the actions of the crews that came before. So it can almost do the legacy thing if you want it to. Or, it can be one shots. You can make a new crew every time. It's very flexible in that way.
Just have your 2024 legacy crew, then your 2025 legacy crew for your convention circuit.
I think it could be fun. I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, the first time I played, I was playing a young idiot, but by the end of that session, he had a signature move and a catchphrase that just kind of developed organically, and whoever plays him next will probably want to keep them because they make him dumb and effective.
Does it have a price? Yeah, you can get it on directly from Ninth Level for $15 basically, $14.99. And is it hard to adapt to other cultures like Brazilian pirates? No, it's
No.
mostly most of the rules have to do with like relationships rather than mechanics or the actual historical stuff, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's setting flavor, but it wouldn't be hard to use the rules anywhere you wanted. It's pretty light.
And the polymorph system's used for a whole bunch of completely different types of games. So
yeah, it can. I had to really have a internal war with myself. It was very difficult to exercise the self-control to not write incredibly crunchy broadside ship combat rules with wind directions and how many guns you have, and none of that's in the book. It's not allowed. It's not what the game's about. Um, the
But
ship.
we will
the
talk
ship
about a
combat
game that is about that.
Yeah, the ship combat is explicitly supposed to last exactly as long as it's interesting, and then you go to boarding. So, like, it's yeah. If you want that, go play Evil Stevie's pirate game or similar.
which we're going to be talking about in a little bit later here. But speaking of conventions, Steve, you went up to Reaper in Dallas in advance of their ReaperCon recently,
Yes, I did.
and you came back with
I
something
brought
large.
back loot. Ah.
Again, Irene's game is Scurvy Buggers. You can get it at 9th Level Games. And Irene, you're welcome to hang out with us as long as you're able to or like to. But we're gonna go ahead and open up a large box here
I've got. Oh, you've got. Okay.
Ooh.
from Reaper Miniatures. This is their what is the name of the ship?
Sophie's Revenge.
Sophie's Revenge, historic scales pirate ship from the Reaper Bones line of miniatures. So we're gonna unbox this monstrosity here.
This was my visit gift from Reaper, and I am excited about it. This is not going to stay in the box. This is going to get painted and played with.
Throwing a link in the chat room in case anyone is interested.
All right.
So to start off with, we have a cardboard box.
Large cardboard box. And well, top there.
Lots of protective stuff.
Just have things in them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's a magnet. That's what's doing that.
Oh,
That's right. The masts are attached by magnets and you can't see the magnetic force. But I was having trouble taking the bag out because the magnet was
It's
holding
sticking
it to the deck.
all right, let's get underneath this here.
Heavy.
Yikes, that's a chomper.
And still stuck in by the
Okay. Then will they just come up with it, or
maybe they come up with it. Yeah.
there we go. I'll support it if you pull them off.
Okay. Yeah.
This is a
They
large.
They wanted to make sure these bits stayed on.
The tape are just fastened well. Oh, I see. They've got those little arms that they're hooked around. Look at that.
That was my earbud.
I'll let you know.
If anybody says anything. So
There
there
we
we
go.
go.
What's the top couple levels?
Mm-hmm.
But there are more.
There's more. Because one of the features here is you can play below decks.
Ah, I see.
I guess if we put the right part in, I can hear better. And here's the lower part. And it's a waterline model.
Right.
If you play it like this,
All right, let's
well, no, that would be waterline.
throw a few things down here. This is a large miniature. Miniature. That's
Any bit.
all the bits. Evacuate the box. Overboard with the box.
You know, I
Alright,
bet
so-
crabmen would be such a problem on a pirate ship
Right.
I bet they would.
because they could just snip
Close.
the rigging with their clauses.
Yeah, and they would also breed as little bitty creatures in the bilge and come up.
Hmm.
They would keep the rats down.
Also, looks like it's got couple spots where it drops in there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
But
cool.
are we getting a good image of the?
Yeah.
The
We can maybe come. Brandon, can you maybe come in from the other side over there? Yeah. There you go.
and the planking has a subtle square pattern in it that you can take as nail holes, but if you want 1-inch squares to regulate your movement, we got your 1-inch squares here.
Oh yeah.
They did a beautiful job. Likewise, these little platforms here are
Just exactly your 1-inch square.
just an inch.
And let's see. It looks like we got the setups for the wheelhouse here.
Mm-hmm.
Whole bunch of cannons.
Many guns.
My drunk friends would break this in the first game session. Well,
It looks
maybe
pretty sturdy.
ironically, you play those
Mhm.
pirates a little more sober than usual. You have, I believe that's your
Figurehead. Yes? Yes. That would be the Revenging Sophie. Good sculpt.
oh, okay, it's hair. I thought it was I was looking at this from the back. I thought that was like a squid or octopus or something. But
No.
that's just the hair from the backside.
Yeah.
The anchor,
Big angle.
big old anchor.
And you've got lots of mast bits, but with the magnet you can get them out of the way if you're not going to have them be play elements. Or you can just use the stumps of the masts and have them be obstacles.
Cat says you should paint it. I think that was, you already said that was your
Oh
idea.
yeah, this is
right?
definitely going to be assembled and painted. Like once it's done, we'll make sure it makes an appearance back on stream at some point.
Yeah.
To show it off.
We'll try and have it done by Pirate Day next year.
There we go. That's
That gives a goal.
reasonable. But yeah, so this is the Sophie's Revenge. It is very large.
They do make a version of this, unless they're sold out, in glow in the dark.
Wow, so you have your ghost ship.
You can have a ghost ship.
That's excellent.
But yeah, Reaper has done a beautiful job with this. And I had made a little mental note to myself to check for flash, so I would have an idea. This was not injection molded, this was 3D printed. But
Really?
This is 3D printed?
I believe so.
Wow.
Yeah,
Is it resin?
uh-huh. Smells like resin.
Ah.
Like that?
Yeah, Maya. But I am not seeing any excess material that needs to be removed.
No, they've done a.
I saw one little spot that I
There's a
could have filled with green stuff, but
There's a-
I'd rather paint it as a
little
bit here
you might
a little age to the ship.
clean up right on that part right there,
Yeah.
on that corner. Wow, I can't believe this is 3D printed. That is fantastic.
I believe that's pretty cool.
The door looks like it can open almost. Does it? I don't think it does. It-
Moved separately.
wow. Maybe it does. No, I think it feels like it's part of it. It just,
It's just
it
been
just looks
been
really.
glued in. Yeah. Now this, however it was created, it's obviously been fastened together some at the factory.
But this is a.
And there's going to be a bowsprit.
That's right,
It'll
and
take it
out to there.
that much longer. Yes, just finding a place to display this will be worth the trouble.
We'll have to clear off some of the conference room shelves. But
Yeah.
that is an entire playset right there, and that reminds me of growing up. I had this GI Joe aircraft carrier
Uh-huh.
that
Oh,
was
yeah.
that was about that size. Might be not even quite that big once you put the mast on it. But
Mhm.
yeah, that would be a fantastic ship to do just like miniatures combat on.
Yeah, fight the crabmen.
For the Crabman, in fact, print up a whole bunch of their Reaper bone skeletons.
Uh-huh. I'll move it to the front of the table here so we can move on, but I'm going to put it away because it's pretty.
It is really cool. Let's slide it right up to the front here.
So that's Sophie's Revenge.
That is really cool. Yeah, worth the trip on its own.
The trip was worth it just for the trip. Reaper has a wonderful facility.
They've been up there for a long time, haven't they?
Oh, they're in newer places now,
Oh, okay.
but Reaper is adapting the newest 3D resin printing technology, but they're also still running metal spin casting.
Oh wow, they're doing both.
Yeah, and some things in between. They have an injection molding device. It's the cutest little injection molder I've ever seen. They use it to make their bases, and you can fit it on this table.
Oh wow,
I didn't have any idea injection molders
it
got
got that small.
Yeah.
Like you could actually make an argument for for some things it's just better to do that than run 3D prints of it. Just 'cause you
Absolutely,
throw it in.
that they ran the numbers and the injection. They use so many bases
I imagine.
that it's better to make their own than to get them from China, and the injection molding is the best way to do it. That also gets you the right plastic for bases because it's a little bit flex.
Yeah.
So no, those guys are thinking about what they're doing.
Cool. Well, it's turning out beautifully.
Mm-hmm. And for those who didn't go to ReaperCon, I got very good reports from it. I did not get to go myself. I had a conflict. But Meredith went, and she said it was fun.
We had a lot of people. That's off because that was Labor Day weekend, wasn't it? We had people all over the place. You were at Dragon Con.
I was
You
at
and Irene were at Dragon Con.
You were at
Yep.
I was at San
San
Japan. Devin was at Grand Rapids Con, I think.
sometime.
Something up there in Michigan. And yeah, we were all over the place that weekend.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's things to do, people to see.
Yep.
Are. Okay, what's next on our piratical log?
Next is what pirate stuff do we already have lying around in case you were needing a little bit more? And we've got, of course, Munchkin Booty, which is the main pirate line of Munchkin. So
This is a standalone, by the way.
yeah, this is standalone. We do also have the deluxe version, if you want the guest artist deluxe version, illustrated by Katie Cook. I think that's Katie. Nope, that is that's Tom Sidwell. One of the other, he did a lot of art for the Munchkin CCG as well. So you have the guest star edition or the main edition. So I remember way back we were just calling this one Pirate Munchkin before it came out, and we were having a meeting in the conference room,
Mm-hmm.
and we were talking about what we should name it. And I chuckled, and you said what? And I said, call it Munchkin Booty, and we all laughed because we were all teenagers, and that's what it got named. But it's good, good piratey fun. It includes ships, so you got your vehicles, and uses some of the same ship rules. Like if you mix sets, the ship rules are, I believe, the same as Star Munchkin.
Yes.
So you can absolutely mix this with Star Munchkin and have space pirates,
Space pirates.
which more pirates, always good.
Although the sharks in space don't make any sense, which is a good reason to use them.
Well, of course, because we do have Munchkin Booty 2, Jump the Shark.
Because
Which
we have no shame, and
Of course not.
if we got any shame, we wouldn't know what to do with
exactly, we just give it to somebody else probably.
it. Yeah.
So those are the two main Munchkin Booty Pirate Munchkin sets that we've got there, and I've got this one's open so we can actually bust it out because there are, as usual, really good puns in here. Of course, we go right to the cat's pun, the rum bum chugger. This is what we're talking about. The scurvy dog. We don't have a normal setup here. Can I set it right in here? Will I hold it up? Okay, we got the scurvy dog. We've got the catfish, the dogfish, the sea cow.
Basically, if it's a fish pun,
If it's fish one, it's in here.
here's Davy Jones Soccer.
Yeah, there we go.
There are a number of stupid Davy Jones jokes in here.
Basically, anything that rhymed, Davy Jones got one of them.
There's one for you, Irene. That's Nelson's Blood, which is typo.
Oh, excellent. wouldn't do us any harm.
We have a level 18 undead Leopleurodon. It's undead because it's just a fossil. So,
Yes. Does anybody remember the Leopleurodon meme?
yeah, that is
That came and went.
Yep.
like that game that like there are now like the early days of memes are now history is such that people do no longer know them.
But it's a funny callback for the one who does. And the game has the musket and the musketoon and the musketini.
And in Munchkin Booty, rather than races, you have nationalities, and of course you have which brought it up because what I came across was the bilingual card, which is what you get if you want. It's the equivalent to the half-breed card in Normal Munchkin. So it lets you have two different nationalities, or no, it's accents that you have, not
Yes.
nationalities, accents.
It's hard enough to do a pirate accent without doing a French pirate accent, but go for it.
Of course, much like undead in this set, it is sharks that will jump on each other, so you can have increasingly large schools of sharks going after everybody. Here we have British accents, Dutch accents, French accents, Spanish accents, and then you can be part of the Navy. You can be a pirate. What are the other
Merchant.
classes? Merchant.
That might have been the three.
Trying to see if there was a fourth one that I'm missing in the other half of the deck. Merchant, French, merchant.
Chat asks, are there any bonuses for people with peg legs? Peg legs is what they call someone who's bad at soccer in Brazil.
Oh yeah.
I don't think that there is a peg leg in here, I'm sure, but there's no. I don't know if there are any bonuses for people with peg legs.
It's probably an item, and so it probably gives a bonus.
Yep. But a lot of good puns. Another meme pun. You have the Viking kittens from the early 2000 memes. Yeah, and then more sharks and more things in Munchkin Booty 2.
What else we got?
What else we got? In addition to Munchkin Booty, we have a Pirate D6 dice set, which is just some good skull and bones,
Those are some of my favorites.
black pearlescent dice.
Two more cards.
Nope.
On board.
I have those on my desk at home.
But just some nice, good skull and crossbones dice. Some bones to roll for whatever games you want to play. Like I would play, get a bunch of those and do liar's dice with them or things like that.
Yes.
But all good stuff. And then we also have this one. You're gonna have to just click a link on over here because we do also have a fantasy trip adventure, Curse of the Pirate King.
Did you send me that link?
If I didn't, I'll go ahead and drop it myself because I've got it right here.
I'll look it up.
That's one from Gaming Ballistic.
Yeah, there's one from Gaming Ballistic, our partner who does a lot of fantasy trip adventures and add-on content.
They do more adventures than we do. It's great.
You can get that in PDF or softcover, but it is a pirate expedition adventure in the fantasy trip system. Those are things that we've done a lot of pirate stuff over the years, but those are things that we still have available at this moment for pirate stuff. And then, of course, any number of GURPS things that you could put together to build a pirate game on.
You can still get GURPS Swashbucklers in PDF too.
There you go.
And that includes pirates.
Obviously.
It really includes anybody who might swing from the rigging or the chandelier
Chandeliers.
or anything else suspended from high up.
As long as you can get the dramatic swing is what you
Right.
need, right?
I mean, in here, yeah, it would be expensive, but
Yeah, there's not a lot of rigging in here. Like this
Yeah.
this doesn't
Please
really count
don't.
as rigging. It's just really just a net.
but it would. I'm visualizing a scene now where they're in a big studio and they've got the beams and so on overhead.
So
And-
someone coming from swinging out from the catwalk, basically.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everybody's grabbing up the prop swords and.
'Cause you have to have that like swinging from the side all the way across, and that you can tell it's an art because they come from high and low and then go back up high out the other side.
Yeah.
Unless they properly drop off to actually start the fight,
Right.
or you can Monty Python style it and just keep going back and forth.
Mm-hmm. Just take a swing each time you go by.
Exactly.
Okay.
So those are kind of the active. Hey, here's some stuff you could actually get from us, real quick.
Is this a good time to mention what you will be able to get from us?
You know what? There is something else that you've been working on. What's it called?
Well, I haven't been working on it myself other than to play test it. It's a Will Schoonover project. The working title is Pirate Dice, but that might suggest to you a push your luck game like Zombie Dice, and no, this is a game of deduction.
Is this the one we had a long time ago that I think
It has pictures of ships and things on the dice.
ships and you were trying to like give clues and not.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I'm glad to see that one come back out,
Yeah.
out of the archives then.
That one's going to happen. Will's been
Cool.
working on it a long time. We're not ready to announce a ship date yet, but
But
before too long, as these things go,
Yeah.
you'll see it.
yeah, but it is a fun little deduction game.
Mhm.
I'm excited to see where it's at now because it was in a pretty decent place, but I know there were a couple bits we were still trying to work out the last time I played it. I don't know how long ago.
Getting art that people can interpret well, even though it'll be on a small dice, is where we're at right now.
Cool. Well, I'm looking forward to that.
Be a good one.
All right. Next up, you guys have been seeing this over in the corner here, and this isn't something you could, well, you can sort of get this. This isn't something you can really get from us, but Steve is, as you know, a big Lego fan and a big pirate fan, obviously, and made his own
Put them together and
Lego pirate game. I'm going to move this laptop out of the way a little bit
Right.
so that we can pull this over.
So Lego has been doing pirate ships for many, many years, and I wrote a rule set to let people push them around on the floor and go "arr" and shoot at each other. And the rules do take into account wind, speed, and direction. They're very simplified, but if you pay attention to the wind, you absolutely get a movement advantage. And ships start little and get bigger. In the original rules, you had to go back to port and buy a newer ship, a bigger ship. When video games came along, I learned from that. And now you increase your ship video game style. When you level up, your ship gets bigger right there on the ocean. That saves a lot of time. The rules are online now, but not the updated rules. We are this close, camera's not on me, this close to publishing updated rules with better graphics on the ship charts, courtesy of Irene. And the new version is much more playable. We just need to do that last little bit of finishing and get it out there for you. You need about a 30 by 30 space and a bunch of Lego ships. If you have these things, it's a way to kill an afternoon. You also need a small child to play the sharks,
Right.
because the sharks appear hungrily whenever a pirate falls overboard, which might be because they are dead and shot off the ship, but it might also be because somebody clumsily dropped one of their minifigs. The sharks don't care, they'll eat them anyway.
Yeah. I remember helping you out with this way back in the day when you had I think it was one of those little small local conventions here, and we had a whole conference room, and they blocked up like half a day.
That was Linacon, maybe?
I think that might have been Linacon, yeah, one of the Linacons. And so yeah, people could come in, they could start with one of the small ships and like 3 or 4 crew members and sail around and pillage islands and each other and turn them back in to get a better ship and everything.
That's what it's about. That's back when you had to go back to port to
Yep.
get a bigger ship, and now you just stay out there.
But it was an entire conference room filled up with a bunch of people scooting around Lego pirate ships on the floor
Oh,
and shouting R at each other.
pro tip. It's best if you can find a blue rug for the ocean. Failing that, any solid color. Don't go with one of these patterned rugs because you will never find the dropped Lego on it.
or convention carpet.
Yeah.
Like our
Yeah,
convention
the
center
hotel
hotel
carpet.
carpet is always very busy.
Ooh.
But yeah, so this is one of the medium-sized ships.
That's fairly large. That's like a class 6, and they go to 7.
Okay.
But
Like
you
the
start
7
off,
is like the 3-master, right?
yes,
Yeah.
you start off with the little bitty ones, and you shoot up other little bitty ones, and you grow.
I think I picked up one of those small ones, like when they were still selling them, because I don't know how many of those are still in print for Lego, but at one point, like they still had some of the ones around, yay big. That's ones we use for small stuff.
They sell medium size and big ones now. They don't have any little ones,
Any
and I
little
think that's a pity because the little ones are cute.
Yeah, and fit on the shelf a lot easier.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is a good time. We can go. Brendan, do you have the link to Steve's pirate game
No.
handy? All right.
Don't worry about it.
Because
Because the new rules weren't out yet.
Well, that's
so I need to
true.
grab
Yeah,
them.
right.
yeah. Read the Daily Illuminator. I'll tell you when the new rules get posted, and then you can grab them. And those are free. Play them, pass them on, whatever.
I mean, the old ones are a historical curiosity, and if you're intrepid, you can find them on the site.
Sure. And just look for About Steve Jackson on the site. I would go to his page, and on his page, one of the projects linked is the pirate game.
But the old rules are too long. I was having so much fun writing rules. I just wrote rules and wrote rules and wrote rules. Shut up, Steve. Give us something we can play.
So for the assembled crew right now, what is your favorite pirate movie or game or piece of fiction?
Ooh.
And whoever thinks of one first, and if no one does, I'll start with mine because I already had a chance to think about it. So I'll talk about my favorite pirate video game. Is actually one that was an MMO that was out a while back called Pirates of the Burning Seas. And I'm going to move this out so it's not hiding behind it anymore. And it was a pirate MMO set in like the Caribbean. But what actually was fun about it for me is we had a crew of people because you had to build your ships and supply them and everything else. So we actually set up a provisioning company where we had to like farm and grow sugarcane and wheat and supplies and make sails and grow the fabric for sale. So we basically sold provisioning kits, sails, rope, and other things. And that was our side business. And we had like whole like Google Doc ledgers and everything for just running like that to make our money by supplying everybody else who needed all those things to go out and kept getting destroyed while they were fighting each other and pirating and stuff. And so we were like running this whole little side provisioners business in the MMO.
My favorite pirate MMO is Puzzle Pirates. It still exists. You can get into it and play it. It's these cute little animated pirates, and when they go to sea, they work their ship by doing puzzles. There's a puzzle for navigation, a puzzle for sailing. The faster you work it, the faster you sail.
Puzzle for pumping the bilge, I remember.
There's a bilge puzzle, and there's combat puzzles. And it's just fun. It's a beautiful little game. It was one of the pioneers of play free and give us money if you want a cute black outfit.
So
You were saying.
my favorite free play subscription model MMO about pirates is not one of those two. It's for children. It is called Pirate 101, and it's from King's Isle Entertainment, and they also did Wizard 101. And my brother and I, as tweens, played like the Wizard 101 beta. And then when we both went off to college, and my other brother was like grade school age, Pirate 101 was the thing that we would all do to hang out in the various different places we'd gone to do family time. And the combat system in Pirate 101, the MMO, is like a top-down tactical combat on a grid, very much like a role-playing game with different positional bonuses, and you have crew members that you're sending orders. And so it can get very tactically interesting, which is fun, but also there's just such charming and silly character design, and it is full of historical and pop culture references. The commercial model of the King's Isle MMOs seems to be make them really appealing for children until their parents shoulder surf and then get the parents addicted with all of your little history jokes. Um and
I've got a friend who
yeah,
does QA over there.
it's well, yeah, my brothers still like it. I mean, now the youngest one who is 19, and we still get together and play sometimes. And yeah, you meet Gilbert and Sullivan, the shopkeepers, who sing at you to make you go kidnap the governor's daughter Mabel because she doesn't want to be there anymore. And it's silly. It's a fun, silly game.
Is King's Isle
and
still supporting it? Is there
yes,
new adventure material? Cool.
it died for a while and it's come back. They are now making new content for it again. Which again, my brothers like when this happened called me on the phone and were like, "Hey, guess what?
Nice.
We haven't done
Nice.
this in 8 years. Let's go." Yeah.
My favorite pirate novel is by the author of the Flashman stories. It's called The Pirates with a Y, Pyrates, and it's definitely ahistorical. It's grossly ahistorical and a whole lot of fun.
I think as far as movies go, a lot of the Pirates of the Caribbean series were just fun movies, and again, wildly ahistorical, but very fun, just adventure action movies.
Mhm.
They were big blockbusters, but they were a lot of fun.
Well, the first one was brilliant.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen all of them. I saw the first couple. I don't remember. I don't know how many there are now. So I fell off. I probably fell off at some point, but they were still fun to put on, and just like, yes, this I could see a lot of this stuff happening in a role playing session, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Nampi says, Puzzle Pirates, my brother and I loved that as kids. What about you, Brandon?
There's a-
Anything in particular?
My favorite video game featuring pirates was Assassin's Creed Black Flag. It was like
Yeah.
this was like, I don't know, 10 or 15 years ago, and they figured ship combat out. It was real easy to move your ship. There were waves. You actually had to like go broadside to get the right angles of attack depending on what weapons you were using. And then you got to once you damaged the other ship enough, you got to board it and go on there and fight all the guys that were on board. And it was just amazing that this was in a video game on like the PS3. It was crazy.
that the one with the sea shanties?
Yeah, and they
and
have
the
sea
soundtrack?
shanties and stuff.
One
And
that recorded
they've
all the sea shanties.
Yeah, they ported that over to when they did the one that was set in ancient Greece. You can do a lot of the same ship type stuff with ship shanties and everything for ancient Greece triremes.
Triremes. Do they have, yeah, it goes all the way to Pentecosters in history, but I don't know if they bothered with those.
The one in Black Flag is set in the Caribbean, so it's more modern than the Greece one, and that one was just super fun.
I wonder what a Greek shanty would sound like.
I mean, they're fun. It was still fun. It
Yeah.
wasn't quite as fun as Black Flag, but the idea was pretty close.
And the ship combat in Burning Seas was interesting because you had to be tactical because it's slow to turn these things. It's not
Right.
Twitch gaming. It's like gotta catch the wind, which it's a little faster in a more modern one that I played called something I just forgot.
Sea of Thieves.
Sea of
Was
Thieves.
it
There
Sea
we
of
go.
Thieves? Yeah.
It was Sea of Thieves. Which my favorite tactic I've seen in that one is while ship combat's going on, someone manages to board and sneak below deck
Ooh.
and then start cooking something on the stove and then run out and like distract you above deck until it catches fire and then starts a fire below decks.
Nice.
Just like jump on, start cooking something, and get back off the ship before they know they've been boarded, and eventually they're too focused on the combat upstairs,
Nice.
and their oven has set the ship on fire.
But if you have read the Horatio Hornblower novels, you get a good sense of just how slow these were to respond to the helm.
Right.
You have just the agony of Hornblower waiting for the ship to respond to his commands, because he thinks like that. The ship doesn't respond
You
like
got seven
that.
people who got to do something and this and everything
Yeah,
else.
and that, and then the wind and the water have to act.
Right.
And he's going, this will work if it can happen fast enough.
All right, well, we are coming near the end of our hour here. So I think we've covered all the stuff we intended to.
Questions?
Any questions? Any event announcements? Do we have anything? Well, Steve, you're going to a convention this
I'm
weekend.
going to a convention. I will be at Granite State Comic Con in Manchester. Irene will be there. Meredith will be there. It's going to be fun. I've never been to this one before. But if you're in the neighborhood, come say hi. Play a game. We got some stuff.
And obviously Irene will be there. I will not be there. I've got more rehearsals to do this weekend. So, but yeah, so we will be back next week at our normal time, 2 p.m. Central. If you missed any of this, it'll be up on YouTube starting tomorrow. It'll be on Twitch for the week and a half that they stay up on Twitch. But we'll be back next week, 2 p.m. Central on Thursday for more stuff. I think next week we're looking at probably bringing out Munchkin Shadowrun to take a look at.
Ooh,
So keep an eye out on our Discord. We'll go ahead and let you know there early in the week what we plan to be doing. And we want to thank you guys for coming out and joining us here. Okay, let's just bring and dropping links. I was like, I see more stuff there. But we hope you all have, we hope all you mateys have an excellent Talk Like a Pirate Day.
Fair winds.
Fair winds. Ahoy. See all of you later on.
Yeah.